Welcome back to The Leak. Well, trains, trams, I could go on.
That won't be necessary.
Oh, it's Aurelia and Clair, everybody.
Yes, Melburnians love to catch a train, tram and so on. But not all of us are quite as fond of ticket inspectors or authorised officers as they prefer to be known.
And why do we have such a complicated relationship with Melbourne's ticket enthusiasts?
Well, between the frequent complaints of unfair and expensive fines, inappropriate use of force, intimidation and bad uniforms, it's hard to say. That's why I took to the streets to find out why authorised officers get such a bad rap.
According to official sources, authorised officers help keep public transport running smoothly and make sure everyone is paying their way. They're employed to check tickets, provide passenger information, improve safety, and help during special events and disruptions. So as I went about my unofficial duties, I was sure to maintain this helpful and positive outlook. And the people of Melbourne clearly appreciated the work I was doing, maintaining a respectful distance at all times. Sadly, not everyone loves public transport running smoothly and having passengers pay their way. Caesar is administrator of the popular Facebook group Where Are Our Mates? Melbourne's PT Ticket Wardens Today, where Melbourneites chronicle their less pleasant experiences with the authorised officers.
I think there is a general anti-authorised officer sentiment in Melbourne. Like, a lot of people are upset that the system doesn't work, yet a lot of funds going into policing a faulty system, so a lot of people are getting caught out. And I think a lot of people think that's unfair, and I think the page is a good way of people keeping an eye on them. And then it sort of, you know, goes from being really funny to being really serious and, like, you know, the people reporting violence. Any kind of crime surrounding ticketing, for it to escalate into violence is, like, archaic. It's just bullshit.
Maybe it's bullshit, but how does an expert deal with our public transport mates?
I deal with them in a certain way. I wouldn't advise that. What I generally do is I film them straight away. I start filming them and I film the whole conversation. If anyone's on the page, they've probably seen those videos. And they have no ideas of the rules. Like, for instance, that they do actually have to provide their ID. They do have to write it down. And we are allowed to film them. They're usually, like, pretty resistant to that, mostly because they don't know the rules. But the fact of the matter is if they're going to ask me for my personal information, I need to verify them. Like, anyone can put on a jacket and write authorised officer on their back and then go around. Like, who are they? So I know a lot of people get on the page and they're like, oh, you know, they're just doing their job. But it's like, yeah, their job is making other people's lives miserable. So they need to sort of wear some of that responsibility. In the whole Nuremberg sort of trials, a lot of the Nazis were like, I was just following orders. But that's not a really good enough excuse, you know, not to compare mates to Nazis, maybe a little bit.
It turns out just following orders is a very profitable venture. With minimal experience and only 6 weeks training, ticket inspectors make over $80,000 a year with almost 2 months of annual leave. With that kind of money, I could pay off all my public transport fines. In my extensive research, I discovered the one fatal flaw I'd made during my authorised adventure. I hadn't been fining people. Apparently, officers need to meet strict quotas in order to keep their jobs, which is probably why they're so aggressive with the fines. Clearly, I hadn't been proactive enough in achieving my KPIs.
Listening to loud music out of a phone speaker is an offence under the Public Transport Act of 1983. Fined. Don't forget your receipts. Loitering is an offence under the Public Transport Act of 1983. Fined. 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 Fine, fine.
I mean, that was certainly an interesting approach, Aurelia. What exactly was sort of the point you were making there?
The point? Are you aware that disrespecting an officer of the Victorian transport system is an offence under the Transport Act of 1983?
I am aware of no such offence. And also, we're not even on a tram.
Well, how did you get here?
Well, yeah, I mean, I got a tram to get here, but...
Exactly. Would you like to pay cash or card?
You still can't just do that.
Don't forget your receipt, bitch.
Aurelia St. Clair, everybody. We'll be right back. Stop.